In today's unboxing for Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid, I take a look at the Foot Soldier pack and the first Villain pack. Let's go ahead and take a look at see what we have. We will start with probably the more boring of the two, the Foot Soldier pack, and see what we have here. Within this one, it is basically just some additional miniatures that we got within the base game and within the expansion Shattered Grid. So let's go ahead and open this up and take a look. And again, it's got the nice cover to keep everything protected. And then these, of course, we have seen. Let's go ahead and move this here, but just in case you are new, here are the miniatures that you get with this. And there are basically 4 miniatures, I believe, 3 of each. Number 3, 4, and 5. And the 5th. Now again, I really like these guys. They do have a good bit of detail here within the feathers and within all of him. So he will definitely take some paint well, and then with a shade and a dry brush for your basic paint job, and you can make a lot of these guys look really nice. And like with these soldier guys, all of the little packs and everything that they have all over them, all of that material, see within that vest. They're very nice miniatures. I really do like the ones they have going for this game. So then, of course, you're wondering what might be some of the advantages to getting this set. Well, of course, you know, just to have the extra bad guys to help ensure that, especially if you're playing the full, you know, 5 hero or 5 Power Ranger game, you might end up with a bunch of characters, especially if you then continue to your map out. Like I've seen some people, well, they'll do an S shape with both of the bases on it. Once you start getting into those really large games, extra minions is definitely a good thing. But the other advantage this one has is, if you remember, within the Kickstarter exclusive box, these guys, I believe it was him and I think it was these 2 that were in that set, and they were not packed in plastic like this. So they were individually done, and it made sense. I mean, there were so many of them in that set, it would have just been impossible to put all of them in their own little thing. So what this will help you do is you could get this one so you have the plastic casing, so you can do these guys to a higher quality paint job and keep them in here, keep them safe, keep them protected. And then maybe the ones that are loose, that are going to be bumped around and not as well protected, those ones could possibly go with a lower paint job, you know, your more basic one. So that way you can have, you know, just you know, again, try to help protect the ones that you really spend, you know, your quality or your bunch of time on. So this, like I said, this case is actually kind of useful for that, especially if you then go with, you know, if you wanted to do different paint schemes, if you wanted to have some of these look one way, you know, some look a different way, or what have you. This would be good then for, you know, transporting this So if you wanted to have, bring, just a few of your own, if you were, heading over to, your gaming group and you wanted to have, have some of the special ones for yourself, this would make a great container for just a couple of them. But for the most part, this really doesn't add anything new to the game. It is just those 5 foot soldiers that you get within the base, the Shattered Grid expansion, and then that Kickstarter exclusive box. So there is that, the foot soldier pack. So now let's go ahead and take a look at what we really came here to see, the villain pack. This is one of those packs that will add a ton of content and replayability to your game because it adds these monsters to it. And the more monsters you have to play, the more different villains you have to play, the better. Once again, we have that cover to help keep everything nice and safe. That is great. Let's go ahead and start off with the cards. All right. And again, each boss has their own deck. So you can see there's the backs for all of them. So we have the one boss. All right, so there'll be 2 boss cards and a couple, and then the monster cards. So out of these 4, very cool. All right. Very cool. And let's go ahead and take a look at this fit. Yep, that's a nice fit. That looks like there is plenty of room here. If you were to sleeve these guys, so they would still fit in there. Very nice. Let's go ahead and take a look at the miniatures now. And look at that mane. Very nice. Lots of detail there. We got some detail there even on his unicorn horn, on the wings. So again, a nice base, and then shade and maybe some dry brush. And this guy, just with a few minor little things, will really look good. Next. Okay, he looks exceptionally evil. Nice. Oh, so that's a nice. So when you see these molded and done bases, a lot of times they'll have a little bit of a warp to them. They won't sit right. So that's great to see that base nice and flat to the ground. And I'm trying to look to see if I see much in the. There's a little bit of cleanup, but I'm not really seeing a whole lot. As this set has been going on, and you've been getting through the base and on into the exclusives and here into this expansion, I can see these miniatures seem to be getting better and better as they've been going on. Yeah, very nice. Again, here you can see where his head maybe came on. That almost looks semi-natural, but you can maybe put in a little bit of, putty or something in there to maybe clean that up. But again, where his head is, that looks like it could be just a natural, change from his shell. So that is actually okay for them to have that mold there. Very nice. And you can see all that detail there on the back of the shell. And then finally, the boss. And then I always try to look at that hand, nice finger detail, nice face, and look at that brow. Very nice. Excuse me. So there they are. The two sets, your Foot Soldier and your Villain Pack 1. This one is a little less so important for game content add-ons. So it's not as necessary, but this one is a definite must just for, you know, these extra monsters and an extra boss. Because remember, you'll have your one boss in your game and then a bunch of monsters. So again, the more bosses and monsters that you can have, the more replay and your game will have. And so this adds a bunch to that. Hope this helped you determine if either of these two would be something you would be interested in picking up for yourself. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.